came from Major General Bashir Magash, the Minister of Defense, a retired Major General. And the current Naira scarcity occasioned by the currency swap policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria is already taking a toll on health care services across the country. And lastly on the show, so as to stall the Supreme Court ruling on a suit by 3 state governments against the move of the Central Bank of Nigeria to phase out the use of holds 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira, which will come up for hearing on Wednesday. Governors of some states have chosen to continue to file for joinder in the matter. These are the issues we are taking a look at on today's edition of this program in the newsroom. My name is Abiodun Olalire. We are set as usual to meet your yearnings as far as these issues are concerned. And I have sitting very closely to me, Yomi Obaditan, you are welcome.
Good afternoon.
Murita Lagbola, you are also welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, viewers.
Kayode Adido is also good to see you.
Thank you, Jordan. Good afternoon, viewers.
Let me start with me, Yomi Obaditan. Let's start with you, Obaditan. Assurances. What do you make of this latest assurance from the federal government?
Yes, we do not expect nothing less than that, but they must go beyond just rhetoric, because security is not just a mere assurance or words. Action must be seen. In the last 7 years, they told us that they came for that purpose and 2 others: security of the nation. And constitutionally, Section 14 also define what the government is about: security of lives, property, and welfare of the people. And so, if election is less than 2 weeks to this time, they are sure, we must have seen how many people they've arrested, how many villages, forests they have bamboos, tear gas, bullets, sent missiles, showing them that this is real. But when you sit at your comfort zone and you are talking to the man in Taraba, Yobe, Maiduguri, Niger, and until 12 hours ago, lives are still being lost, people are being captured, one will just take whatever they are giving to us with a pinch of salt. So in time like this, even in the days of Jonathan that we say was not a strong man, the South Africans were already here, and they were pushing them outside our territory. So for as far as I'm concerned, I pray they will back up their promise with action.
Now, Mr. Lagbola,
Yeah.
the Minister of Defense is saying that all or every nook and cranny of the country have been secured, and that there's no problem anywhere. But just as he said a while ago, that at times some of these words appear to be rhetorics. We heard about the burning down of high-neck structure, particularly in the eastern part of the country, almost on a regular basis. Do you also believe in these assurances?
That the federal government is going to ensure free and fair election.
No,
security of
security
life
on-
secure.
Well, like he said, one can only take it with a pinch of salt because of a lot of things that is happening. Even this election that is coming up, by now we should have been sleeping and snoring, but I doubt whether anybody can do that now. Jonathan, when he was pushed to the wall, called for mercenaries outside, but this time around we are not going for mercenaries. Fine, but if you are asking me whether we have solid preparation on ground, I'll say no. Get to Niger State today as we are talking. Some of the areas are being controlled by bandits, insurgents and other things. So the security for me, for now, we still have a lot of things to do. Yes, the government, maybe some training here and there, But in terms of effective control of the territorial space, I would say we still have a long way to go. So what the Minister of Defense, whatever he's saying, I mean, it's what we expect him to say. But those of us on the, just like the president saying he has kept all his promises he made to Nigerians in 2015. But you and I know that the situation isn't the same. So in terms of security, we still have a long way to go.
Sake, what's your opinion on this?
Well, I agree with my colleagues. You see, you need a peaceful atmosphere to conduct an election. But the reality on ground does not show that. On a daily basis, we hear of killings, destructions, violence here and there. Up to yesterday, we were still reading of killings and attacks. And when these people talk, one begins to wonder whether they belong to this planet or they belong to somewhere else, telling us that there is peace in the country for this election. Look at these campaigns that are going on. Obese camp was attacked in Lagos last week, and it continues every day. So where is the peace? You have just 2 weeks to election, and we cannot see that peace the minister is talking about. Whether between now and 25th, whether a miracle will happen to make sure that there is peace in the atmosphere for the report. But without peace, we cannot conduct credible elections. In fact, fears, there are fears in Nigerians now, whether it's safe for them to go out on election day or not. So I think the government should be more realistic in its assessment of things. This time around, it is not real.
It is usual when election is fast approaching as this. You hear of crises here and there, particularly among supporters of leaders of the leading political parties. But the truth of the matter is that on most election days, things are normally calm and peaceful. Don't you foresee that in these forthcoming general elections?
Well, it's our prayer that on the day of election it should be calm and peaceful, free and credible. But our prayer used to tell us that how the Sunday will look like. It is on Saturday that we have to take cognizance. So from the look of things, even apart from the campaign, we are saying that traveling from here to Lagos, you have to read your Psalm 23 3 times. If you are going to Maduguri, it's untouchable. I remember I was joking with somebody. They say, you used to go to, do you live in Lesha or you go to Lesha for a program? I said, yes. Say, that night, I said, he said, hey, try that in Maduguri. And no, don't even go to Maduguri. Go to Niger State. The farmer there could not access their farm because they have to contribute a certain amount for the bandit. And not only that, somebody from the north was even saying that the bandit was so bold, they will ask, bring your women to come and spend 1 week with us, and then we return them. And that's the country where we have government, and they are assuring us of this election. So if in Niger State there, people can't go to farm, people can't have freedom to their own family without giving in to what the terrorists are saying, and you assure us for election, let's even come downside. There is no week in Imo State in the last 6 months that they will not kill somebody. Not just ordinary people. About 48 hours ago, a DPO and 4 others were killed. In the same Nigeria I'm just talking about. So when you are telling us on the day of election, that would be beautiful if they can, because on the day of election, movements are restricted. But then, what of the number of the police to every polling unit? And what of those who feel aggrieved, especially with the socio-economic situation like this? Would they be able to give us that peaceful atmosphere? How about the political association and political parties? The way they conduct their primary, the way they are now going about campaign, can they assure us that day there will be a peaceful atmosphere? So it is not just for people to promise you, like Mama will say, we have disseminated it, and there's peaceful everywhere. And the president is assuring my best has been given. And what we promise, we have assured them. So the reality on the ground, without telling lies, is that if it happens like that, that would be a miracle.
Okay, Mr. Nagola, I want to believe the Minister of Defense is giving this assurance based on the insecurity that we have here and there across a number of states in Nigeria. And let's look at this statement critically here. He's saying the police is the lead organization when it comes to security.
Yes.
But that the military will be at the periphery to ensure that every activity during the election is carried out in order. Are you doubting that?
I'm not doubting per se, but in terms of reality, there's cause for discomfort. There's cause for one to doubt it. Now, don't forget, just recently, the election monitoring body, INEC, first went to these road transport or whatever you call them to ensure logistics, carrying of the vehicular movement on that day. He went to the security too, the military, the police. Ordinarily, it's supposed to be a police job, but all of them, NSA, DSS, and all of that is to ensure there is adequate security. Because if there is no adequate security, you can't talk about free and fair election. So he went there. Then he also went to the central bank to ensure that, to ensure that people will have, because he said they were going to pay some of their staff with cash. Now, although he got assurance from all these places, ordinarily in a Senate climbs, he has no job with all those things. He needs to sit in the office and plan how the election should be carried about. Even before I forget, he even went to the Federal Executive Council. That's the fourth place. So these are not supposed to be part of
the National Council of State. He was there.
And you see, that's the fifth one. No, he was not supposed to be in all these places. All they needed to do is to sit in the comfort of their office and then plan. How do we do this? How do we? But they are now being forced to ask certain things. So in terms of security, well, the police will do when it gets out of hand or when it's going out of hand, the military will come in. But for how long will we do this? So for the assurances of you see, the president, when he asks his subordinates to come and report, they will tell him, Oga, in fact, everything is okay. People on the ground too, that's what they tell the Minister of Defense. So what the Minister of Defense is saying is not different from the reports his subordinates on the field are telling him. But you see, for a good leader, sometimes you go outside the official apparatus and then try to see things for yourself. Now, look at even this issue of money, this thing. It is all in the papers. It is in the broadcast media and all. Yet, when government officials are talking, they are talking as if people, what we are saying is so strange to them. So, all these assurances they are giving, we don't expect something otherwise. But the reality on ground is different from what they are telling us.
Saki, when we talk about violence, thuggery during election, like the case you cited a while ago, Peter Obi campaign train was attacked. It is usually by the opposing party. And some people will say that most times, or most of these violence are orchestrated by politicians.
Well, I think it's part of the game. You know, that is a blame game. You blame me, I blame you.
Or you tackle me, I
double you.
It's very unfortunate because campaigns are supposed to be very peaceful. You go there, you sell, you market yourself, market your product, and that's what campaigns are supposed. But you see, we have turned it into something else. That's where some people make money, you know, and they believe that you have to show the level of power you have during campaigns, and that is what we are seeing in all this violence and attack. You see, INEC itself has made adequate preparation. In fairness to INEC has come out boldly to regularly update Nigerians about its preparedness for the election, and so it's left to the politicians. Politicians are not in absolute control of their followers. No, they are not. You know, INEC came out last week and reeled out all the arrangements as put up to yesterday. INEC was briefing us on how the timetable will run. INEC was out last week to say they have secured about 138,000 vehicles, secured 4,000 boats and 8,000 motorcycles. All these are part of preparation by INEC. But is the atmosphere safe for them? it's not the business of INEC to ensure safe environment. No. There are agencies assigned to that. And are they doing the right thing? To the extent of now telling the minister for defense that there is peace, there is not peace in the country to ensure peaceful election. I think there's something wrong somewhere.
Sake, from your experience, would you say political violence compared to when you were in active service, the 79 to 83 experience, even right from 1999, you recall Do or Die by former President Olusegun Obasanjo. If you look at those era and what we have now, are things not better?
They are not better. In fact, you see, things are escalating. We have witnessed all this during campaigns. On election day, we don't know what will happen. And as Barrister said, a good Sunday will be determined by
what
Saturday will tell. And our Saturday in this case is not telling us something comfortable. So you see, violence has been part of our politics in this country, no doubt about it. But those we are witnessing now, they make one to be more concerned. Look at the rate at which people are being killed. A local government chairman was just killed just like that. A magistrate sitting presiding over case was just attacked like that. And there's no indication that some people have been arrested. No. And when we meet these politicians, they will say they have petitioned the police. Nothing from it. Up to this morning, we heard about what happened in La area. You know, the two parties are at each other's throat. They are accusing themselves. And each of them will say they have petitioned the police on so, and we are not hearing anything from the police. So violence has been part of our politics. But you see the rate we are witnessing it now, I think it gives room for concern.
Do you agree with Saki that it is more of concern now than what it used to be?
I agree with him. Look at Okowa's aids. Look at what's happening in Benue. Look at in Taraba. Even look at the attack against the APC from PDP in Kano. You can keep on mentioning them.
Even the governor of Yobe was attacked.
So in those days, you hardly find that somebody had the guts of attacking a governor, even a presidential or a likely gubernatorial candidate. What they go after is maybe after the campaign and people are going, hey, don't shout your name, the name of the other party.
They will lay them on the
that kind of, and it's not taking your life. It's just to intimidate them, make sure that people will not vote for them, not that just take his life so that he will not be voted for. There are many, about one or two candidates on the INEC list who have been killed now, not just natural death. So these were not the common things in those days. Then the period we are talking about, the police will go after them. One or two people have been arrested. The people who were behind them will have been arrested too. But today, you just see police have not known their training. They did. I must give police some credibility. Recently, a couple was killed in Abeokuta. And I'm glad you were able to pick those 4 people behind the whole thing. That's the way they should go after those who are killing the politicians and those who are causing terror. So these are some of those things. Then you will also discover today, politicians have the boldness of engaging people we call tout. Like the issue they are involving the INEC chairman in Lagos and the particular person responsible who is going to be involved in the transportation. In those days, they won't want to be, even though they may want to do it indirectly, not directly involving and say, okay, this man belongs to APC, the other one belongs to PDP. So these are some of the things that make the thing to escalate. Number one, the police will not do their job. Number two, even if they get it, they will just get the bail. Look at 2019. Look at the number of people that died. Look at the people they arrested. How many were they charged to court? That's the end of it. So it wasn't so in time past. You will pay dearly for it if you allow yourself to be used.
At times, police act on order from above.
I said that is what they are doing today. But in those days, that order from above,
Okay, we move to the next topic now. I want to talk about this Naira scarcity, and we are being told that it is taking a toll on healthcare services across the country. Mr. Labola, there was a particular case in Kaduna State where patients were denied access to healthcare because they could not produce cash. And we all know that transfer or electronic payment is not reliable these days. And as a result, we learned that a woman died. How do you react to that?
Oh, it's sad. And honestly, I have tried to ruminate over the whole scenario, and I find it difficult to support it, either in theory or even in practice. In theory, what I mean by a textbook or anything where a country of about 200 million people will be subjected to such trauma, such harassment and all. Now, there have been so many conspiracy theories out there. Some of the theories said that this particular money swap is targeted at a particular person. Some say it's a political class, so that they can buy. But the unfortunate aspect of, even if you are going to use this theory, is the fact that this plan is aimed at, they have unfiltered access to the new money or whatever it is. Now, if it is a particular candidate too, you see, these people sit in the comfort of their room and then invite the money manager, I need to so and so, so bring it, and you bring it. So now, the other hand, they are also telling us that cashless policy. Now again, if you go by the cashless policy too, cashless policy was introduced by Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi, in 2012, 11 years down the line, only 6 states. So 6 over 36 is 1 over 6, and that's 0 point something %. Now in my local government, where I come from, Oduoti, we have 15 wards, the biggest, one of the biggest, because we use Oduoti, Oshogo and Iwo, that have 15 lower. I doubt whether we have 5 banks. So the infrastructure.
Do you even have any that is working?
Yes, we have. There's one at the former governor's hometown, Wema Bank.
It's working till now.
Oh yes, okay. It's working. Then I think
by
one in Onya, by the road. Yes. Then one in Onya. Then we have a microfinance bank at Inisha.
No, I'm talking of the commercial banks. Not
no, Onya, the Okuku one is Wema Bank.
Okay.
Wema is
and
not
it's back in operation.
Yes, it's working. So what I'm saying is that now out of 774 local governments we have in Nigeria, over 400 don't have banks. Now POS is what people are using to survive. 1, it creates job. 2, it gives people easy access to funds. Now, at the end of the, see, because we are a country with impunity, nothing happens. At the end of the program, they should sit down and collect the effect of what they have done on the economy. But if you have a country where the decision, is so fundamental decision is taken by the president and the central bank, you can't have anything otherwise than that. Now the experience is harrowing. People are going naked just to have money, access to money they have worked for. In any case, the point that must be made clear is, if you put money in your bank and it is stamped and you have the teller, and the armed robber in your presence come and cut away the money, you have no business with the armed robber. You have to go back and ask for your money. So it doesn't happen anywhere that you walk, put your money in the bank, and somebody will tell you can't have access to it. It doesn't happen anywhere. So a lot of the hospitals are having many casualties. People are going naked to get. Even bank staff are going through the back door to escape. They are jumping fence. I don't know. At the end of the day, is the policy meant for human beings or human beings meant for the policy?
Don't you want them to run for their life where they foresee they...
I know, that's what I'm saying. So some are even crossing. They have to run.
Okay, so Saki, government institution to start with, that either though been accepting electronic transfer, suddenly decided to stop accepting it.
Because they have lost confidence in the system. That's it. Even when you want to transfer, you can try 100 times without getting through. I have once spent a whole day attempting to transfer just some money to I couldn't get it done.
And even when you are able to get through, you are not sure
you are not sure
to get the destination.
Yes. So people have lost confidence in the system. So that's the problem. And it shouldn't be. You see, when you talk of cashless, it doesn't mean that there should be provision for some little amount of raw cash to transact some emergency like this one, like this hospital issue. Yes, but that is not the case. And you see, policies, no matter how good they are, if they lack human face, it's a bad policy. People have spoken well of this cashless policy of CBN. Well, but it's a policy that lacks human face. The case of this woman you have referred to is just an isolated case because it is reported that we are discussing it now. There are so many unreported cases of even more grievous cases, but because this case has been reported. The situation is very, very bad. You know, like Muri said, it is my money. We are not asking for a favor, no grant, no gift. My personal money put into your care, and I now want to collect my money. You are not giving me conditions. It is not done. But that, we have a government that is very insensitive, and if it is designed to a particular individual, just one target, and you now use that.
Do you believe it is targeted at
an
individual?
That is a popular view in town. I don't know who the target is.
Okay.
But they say it is targeted at someone.
maybe.
So, the lawyer will tell us.
If it is true, I don't think it is reasonable or human.
But the CBN governor had told us the reason for the currency swap now, to reduce corruption, vote buying, and we all know that almost all the parties engage in vote buying.
What I'm saying, the intentions are good, but the side effects are very inhuman. For any policy that lacks human face, it is no policy.
Okay, if government is to rehabilitate the road, your street, the road in front of your house, there will be inconveniences. Maybe for 1 week or two, you'll not be able to park your vehicle inside your compound. Are this not what Nigerians are passing through now?
They are supposed to be, but the problem is that when you are constructing that road, there's and you didn't use what we call bulldozer to level, and then lay some sand or concrete before you put the necessary thing there, you are likely to have a damage not only to the construction job but to the people who are using it. Now let's look at it. If you are going to cashless, one of the first things such a society will do is to show that the internet services are properly functioning. And secondly, you also have to enlighten the people, make sure the distribution of bank. For example, Mr. Agbola was telling us that some of the banking in 774 local government, they are not more than 400. And we have a population of about 200 million people. So that means those banks cannot serve. Then the issue of POS, you have to prepare them. Ensure that you have made plan B in case this one fails. But let me assume, number one, that the policy they have was a very good one. They noticed that they have 2.7 trillion out of circulation. In economy where the money is out of circulation, that money cannot generate interest. And so you want to retrieve it. There are many policies. I'm going to show you about 3 or 4 that the central bank will have taken instead of embarking on this one. Now let's look at the first one, which the central bank can do. They're what we call cash reserve ration, CRR. When you notice that you have so much money, you can reserve without giving to commercial bank. There's another one called monetary policy rates, which is also one of the way of controlling the money in circulation. For example, if you notice that you have so much money, because in simple economics, when you have more money pursuing less goods, there are going to be inflation. So sometimes the central bank, being the bank, according to Central Bank Act 2007, Section 2, gives them the right to manage currency or that kind of thing. Now, if you're going to do that, you can use this policy without necessarily going after and say, bring all your money, and then you cannot allow you to even have new. Then the third one, which is very common and which some of us know, is what we call special deposit treasury bills. When government realizes it doesn't have money, you could sell it to the public, and people come to buy, and so as a result, they have money. The central bank, they don't use this one. So the only one they want to use to retrieve the money is to print new currency and then bring in the old. And if you are targeting it against the politician, that could have been a bit difficult for you to achieve. Why? Instead of using this method, you can get EFCC, because you have lists of people you want to target, you suspect, like the suspect on judges the other time buying and selling justice, and they went after them the night. They raided them. Some could not explain how they come about pound sterling and dollar. The same thing they can do to politicians and say, look, those who take volume bank to their house, go there, raid it. Let's see how many money you can bring.
The security in judges' houses are not up to those protecting.
When an army is going to a battle, they look at the war or the battle they are going to face. They will also bring the such counter force in case, because they will have envisaged. So you don't go to war with a cutlass. You go with necessary weapons that will have make the other people to come down. When they went to Gbogbo, do they go with just ordinary 2 guns? They went there as if they were in the war town. So if they can go after, they can do it. Remember during the coup and counter coup, people go to the general in the night, despite all the security that find, and they were arrested or state. The one that refused to, they shoot them, and then they say become casualty during the coup. So this one is not an issue. So if they can't use that one, they can use many other methods. They can charge them to court that.
Under democracy,
Of
human
course.
rights.
Human rights says that we suspect that so and so has been found in you. Do you know most of this currency, even the old one, have number, and every currency issued to commercial bank A is listed. So if they notice that X and Y went to commercial bank C and collected a certain volume, because under our currency, under our law, you cannot take more than 50 million. If you do it, you have violated the law, and that's what they charge the Nigerian Labour Party.
This guy, Dr. Okupe,
for that he collected such a humongous money. So if their record from commercial bank, you do investigation.
Was it 5 million?
Just 5 million.
Just 5
million.
million. You shouldn't take more than that 5 million. In other countries, it shouldn't even be like. Alice Ibadike was arrested for £5,000 that they found in her house. So every government or nation has such. So if they use that method, you could have. But if you now say, okay, because of X and Y, you want to, very beautiful. But then the common man who will come to bank to come and collect 5,000 cannot have access to it. And that takes me to the Bible. In Nahum chapter 1 verse 9, it says, whom do you think God is? He said, affliction shall not come the second time. This is second affliction. 39 years ago, this same Buhari was there. He came with the same policy. He gave them 2 days notice and 12 days of getting the thing. By the time a woman in the societal bank in Ibadan fainted, another one committed suicide because he could not have access to just 15 naira. So if you come and said, because this is the way, in a same clan, the president will have addressed the person. So we are very sorry. What we have in mind was this one, so that's to reduce policy. So instead of just closing your eyes and said, this is the way.
We are still on the same issue, but another topic now. Sake. The governors appear to be frustrating this currency swap of the CBN and the federal government. They have secured injunction from the Supreme Court, and many more are joining. Many other states are also joining in the suit, just to ensure that we spend pari passu the old or the outgoing note and the new note. And of course, the purpose or one of the purposes of this Naira swap will have been defeated.
Well, the word frustrating you use is very subjective. To me, I don't think they are frustrating. If there's a referendum today, people will go with the governors because the pains are just too much. You know, they are not saying the cashless policy should not stay. To me, what they are fighting for is to introduce some measure of human face. Let's elongate the period of mopping of the old currency. The system in other countries is that the two currencies should have operated side by side, so that at the end of the day, the old currency will just naturally die. That is what they are fighting for. But some people have read politics into it. Whether they also are playing politics or not, I don't know. But to me, I agree perfectly with them. And the beauty of this is that we have even governors of states that belong to the ruling party. That's a bit of democracy. Some people are criticizing that no, they should have settled this within their. No, it's beyond what could be settled behind the curtains. It is something that affects their people, so they have to come out.
Okay, you always say governors are powerful.
Yes. Yeah, but in this case, they are not.
Sake said that I should not use the word frustrating.
Yes, I also reason along with him. Now, in this case, they are helpless. It's very sad.
The governors.
Oh, yes. Now, let's look at it holistically. We, the ordinary masses.
Are you ordinary?
I went to NEPA this morning. I wanted to pay. They didn't take the old money. In fact, as we are talking now, I don't know.
Take your ATM.
No, I even had some. Not the ATM. Go and sit down. Now, I don't know where we stand. Now, the governors have spoken. IMF has spoken. The World Bank has spoken. So what have we said? What policy? In any case, are we even original? There's nothing original about this thing except the hardship. There's no country that has done it. They were making reference to India and things. India did not implement it this way.
Nigeria is a peculiar country.
Very good. Now, if it is peculiar,
What makes it peculiar?
what makes it peculiar?
The Nigerian in us.
Okay, they fine. But
everywhere you want to buy jam forms, you call for extension. If you want to register for
I agree.
extension.
I agree. Then there was this question you asked the barrister that we have to make some sacrifice. Yes, we are ready to make sacrifice. But the sacrifice should not go to the extent that you will be denied legitimately what you have worked for. So the governors, whether like our organ said, whether they are playing to the gallery or not is another thing. But the fact is that they are speaking the minds of people. Now IMF has to come in and they say, okay, extend this thing. In fact, the reality on ground is that I don't think they have sufficient new Naira notes. Now, if they have it,
or they miscalculated.
No, in fact, serious proper thinking did not go into the planning. Because in such a situation, you could even have plan A, plan B, plan C, and other. So if one fails, now we are stopped. Supreme Court has given judgment. Interim this thing.
Restraining order.
The bank did not follow it.
No, they are.
They have complied.
They have complied. Now, if they have complied, they ought to have come out. That's why people are rejecting
Banks don't talk. It is the CBN that will talk.
Okay, now, but they are not accepting it from some of us. They are giving a practical today.
They will be now by now.
Banks, we are saying.
I think they were waiting for instruction from the CBN, which they might have gotten by now.
Oh, okay. Yes. So, but whatever it is, what we are saying is that the governors, they are very powerful. But in this case, I think the decision was between the president and the CBN governor. So they did not factor. In fact, that's why they are even lacking support from their own base. That's the political party.
I disagree with my two colleagues.
Okay.
The governor are not populists. They are hypocrites. Where were they when university was closed down for 8 months? Why didn't they go to the presidency and protest? Because their sons are not there. They are now talking.
Because it is affecting them.
Because it's affecting them. Okay. If they are so touched with the people's pain, they would have done what someone is doing in Lagos.
Yes, there will be fuel scarcity
bring food to the people, bring POS for the people. They have security allowance. Can't they use it to assist those people?
That's where I was going. Because thank God you are watching or you know about
government. Yes, sir.
He was part of them.
Security vote. Thailand, they bring it in cash.
Of course, they bring it in cash. And they are not.
Instead, we collect about 500 million naira.
I don't know the amount, but I know they can use part of that money to assist the needy.
So if a governor collects 500 million naira cash as security vote,
yes,
what else do you expect?
And he doesn't give account how he's going to spend it. So what's waiting for it? So where did someone who get his POS money? Why did he get the 50% reduction in the term? So if